What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so if you want to know why um, a lot of us Chicago Bulls fans have absolutely no faith whatsoever with this formerly great franchise, it's the consistent boneheaded decisions that the franchise has made since Michael Jordan retired the second time back in 1999. I mean, like I said, with the sole exception of the brief resurrection of the franchise under Derrick Rose, other than that, it has been absolutely atrocious. Um, Whether it was them trading Jimmy Butler during NBA draft, um, just the curses that seems to have plagued this franchise, as far as players who were not productive with the Bulls, like Tyson Chandler that went on to win Defensive Player of the Year with other franchise. Um, you know, uh, Derrick Rose and, his promise, the fact that he, at one point in time, looked like he could be the next superstar, only to suffer that terrible injury. I think an unnecessary injury by his head coach who kept him in the game when the game was all but over. But anyway, Billy Donovan, for some reason, has secured an extension with the Chicago Bulls. Okay? This is the same Billy Donovan who has only had one winning season in 5 years with the Chicago Bulls. This is the same Billy Donovan who has a losing record all time as a Chicago Bulls coach. This is the same Billy Donovan who has missed the playoffs 3 consecutive years. So it's just interesting to me. Like I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't understand how certain coaches are allowed to be mediocre, but other coaches who've won championships get fired after 1 or 2 seasons. Like a Mike Budenholzer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes no sense. It's ridiculous. And to be honest with you, Billy Donovan should be getting a lot more smoke than what he's been getting. People like to give Doc Rivers smoke, but Doc Rivers has a winning record with every franchise he's been with, even the Bucks now, right? Doc Rivers has an NBA championship. Yes, Doc Rivers has had teams blow leads, and I get it. I get some of the points people make, but Billy Donovan had teams with talent in OKC and was blowing leads. Remember, somehow Billy Donovan escapes, the same energy for blowing a 3-1 lead against the Warriors. The people say, well, that was the Warriors. Okay, but still, you had a 3-1 lead in the conference finals. And Billy Donovan got outcoached by Steve Kerr, who by no means is the greatest X's and O's coach himself. And that's not the only situation where Billy Donovan got outcoached in OKC. But this is bigger than Billy Donovan. This is more on the Chicago Bulls front office, man. They've made terrible decisions as far as roster signings is concerned, as far as who they prioritize in their lineup, how they play guys. Billy Donovan, going back to him, his lineups are often, his rotations, I should say, are often short or too short. Not the sorry for referencing the rapper there, but often his rotations are too short. Often, he'll have players in the games that don't mesh well or don't match up well with the opposition. The guy wasted Andre Drummond in Chicago. It's just painful, man. And to see this go on this long, to see this go on this long is what's the final straw is. Like at some point, you're like, nah, I can't keep co-signing this, man. It's ridiculous, and that's why I started following the Milwaukee Bucks. That's why, you know what I'm saying, I look at some of these other small franchise teams and I see what they're doing, like the Thunder. You know what I'm saying? See, that's a guy, Sam Presti, didn't know what the hell he's doing. I got a little bit of a cold, so if I sound a little nasal, it's because of that. But yeah, that's a franchise that you could clearly see that they know what the hell they're doing. So, you know, people talk about, oh, but I mean, but he can't help who's on the team. I mean, he can't help who's on it, man. Come on, man. The Bulls have had, I'm not saying the Bulls are supposed to win a championship, but the Bulls have had teams that are good enough to make the playoffs. Even if we made the playoffs and we're like a tough out in the first round, I would accept that at this point. But the fact that this dude is, I mean, have y'all seen some of these games? Like back when they had DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball. Did you see some of the games they were losing? It's ridiculous. This the same coach that blew, what was it, an 8-point lead or a 9-point lead against the Miami Heat in the play-in tournament. They were that close to eliminating Miami, and that same Miami team had the Cinderella run to the NBA Finals that year. I think it was 2023. So yeah, man. At the end of the day, nah, I'm not feeling this one, and most Chicago Bulls fans ain't feeling this one, man. The Bulls are not—they're not serious about winning, and that's all I got to say about it. Tell what you guys think.